What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing a beer from the Pilsner Urquell brewery, and they're out of Plzeň over in the Czech Republic, and this is their Pilsner Urquell. So this is a Czech Pilsner that comes in at 4.4% alcohol by volume, 36 to 40 IBUs at the time of review. I don't know exactly how old this bottle is, but it does have a best by date of February 21st of 2023, and we're about 2.5 months away from that date, so we should be fine. So, as it says on the label here, it is the original Pilsner. This is the first ever Pilsner, as the story goes, that was brewed in the world. I believe it was back in, and it says right on the label, I was going to back in 1842. And this is one I've had numerous times before, and I've always enjoyed it, and I've figured let's finally review it. So yeah, I really like Czech Pilsners now, going back like 3, 4, 5 years ago. Whenever I had this one, I appreciated the quality of this, but I never was like blown away by it, just because, again, it was one of those beers where, for the most part, the style wasn't my favorite, but I'm starting to really like lagers over the last couple years, and Czech style Pilsners or Czech pale lagers, they are my jam. So let's get this one into the glass and see what we got going on here. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to giving this a proper review, and I feel like, and I've said this about a lot of lagers over the past couple months, but I feel like I'm going to enjoy this one more than in the past, just because my palate has kind of shifted a little bit towards lagers to some degree. So yeah, that's crystal clear, has that like golden, like that golden straw color, a little bit darker, a little bit like orange hues. In the light, beautiful. Clarity is through the roof, has some decent carbonation, about a half finger of this off-white, soap sudsy looking head when you swirl it up. Slightly creamy, but a little bit of soap sudsy. But it looks like a typical, pale lager or European pale lager or something like that, or a Czech Pilsner, which it is. Anyway, it's good nose. Yeah, it's nice. It has that like nice bready, slightly like biscuity, but it's definitely more bready malt character. A little bit of like a spicy floral hop sensation, although in this particular bottle right now, it's getting towards the end of its shelf life, 2.5 months away from the best by. It's losing a little bit of that hop character, so it's not as like bright as you typically expect when you have it. And it's not like over the top as in terms of the hop character, but it's a little bit more than what I'm getting right now, but it's definitely still there. Maybe a touch of like a red apple core, maybe a pear. Very slight, probably from the yeast esters. Yeah, it just smells like you could crush a bunch of these. That's what this beer is made for. It's one of those classic, I feel like, iconic beers in the beer world that everyone should try at least once. And it smells pretty good, albeit a little bit, again, a little bit aged. You can tell this one is not super duper fresh, and that's fine by me. Like, you can't always pick shelfy beers like this at this point off the shelf and have them super fresh. And I'm picking one up that's still within date, just not uber fresh. Anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Even with some age on this one and getting closer to the best by date, it's such a fucking really good beer. I typically rate this like 3.5 to 3.75 when I have in the past, like on Untappd or Beer Advocate or whatever. But I've enjoyed this a little bit more over I don't always check in stuff I have on Untappd, or even really, if I pick a bottle or two of this up, or a 6-pack or a 12-pack, which I have in the past, I never, check it in and be like, oh yeah. I've enjoyed this one a lot more over the last couple of years, and this is just more in my wheelhouse nowadays. Body is like straight up medium body at 4.4%. It's impressive. It's like one of those beers where they'll tell you, oh, it has an impressive, full body or whatever. And it's like, I could see that. Like, this is more medium body, or like a little bit over medium for 4.4%. It's impressive. The mouthfeel, it's a crispy boy. It has moderate carbonation, but it's really soft. Really smooth on the palate. It just, it's so easy to drink. It tastes a lot of bready malt up front. Right after, I get a little bit of that like red apple core, maybe a touch of pear, some kind of fruity yeast ester, I think, is kind of hitting. That's a little bit different than, a lot of people just say bread, or it's biscuity, or it's crackery, and then you get that spicy floral hop character. I'm getting a little bit of fruity esters in here, just a slight touch. As it passes through, though, and the second half hits, that's where that spicy floral, it's leaning more towards the spicy side of things for me. It finishes semi to full-on dry with a mild to moderate bitterness. It's more right in the middle of the mild to moderate bitterness, and this is more semi than full-on dry to me. Super balanced though. You get a lot of that sweet, malty, bready, a little bit of red apple core, pear at the forefront, but it's balanced out by the hop character and the dryness, and it's just a really well-made beer. 4.4%. Yeah, you could crush a ton of these. You don't feel it in the chest or on the palate or anything. Just an easy, like I could easily down the rest of this on camera. I'm not going to because I only drink 1 or 2 beers now a day, and something like this, I don't get the chance to just like session beers anymore, really. So the fact that I have a glass of this, I'm reviewing it, I'm going to take my time with it. It's a great Czech Pilsner. It is the original Czech Pilsner, and my rating is going to be higher than I have in the past. But I'm going to do 2 ratings for Czech Pilsner and then regular Pilsner. I mean, let's be honest. You get this relatively fresh, and it's probably one of, if not the best Czech Pilsners you can get. This specific bottle, I'm going to do a little bit different with the rating though. When I drink this one, it's relatively fresh, and I know, everything, it's not a couple months away from the best by date. This beer right here, Pilsner Urquell, from Pilsner Urquell. This beer right here, stylistically for a Czech Pilsner or a Czech Pale Lager is basically a 5 out of 5. It really is. Maybe like this bottle is like a 4.75, but like that's what it is. Personal rating, I can't believe I'm saying this, but this has hit me in the feels that even though it's not as vibrant with the hop character, and maybe just the overall intensity of the beer itself over compared to the ones I've had over the past couple of years, I'm still going to give this like a high 4.25. I'm going to go like 4.3 out of 5. That's how much more I enjoy this one than the last time that I think I checked it on tap. Might have been like 5 years ago. And I think I gave it like a 3.5 or like a 3.6. Like this is substantially better to my palate. Now, will everyone love this one? If you don't like Czech Pilsners or Pilsners in general, probably not. But I think it's hard to deny the quality of this beer and just how good it can be. And it's just it's a great Czech Pilsner. Price point availability, it will vary everywhere. Here in my neck of the woods, you can pick up a 12-pack of this for around 17, 18 bucks. I think they come in 6-packs for like around, I think it's like 10 bucks, 11 bucks. I picked up a single of this in a mixed 6-pack because I wanted to review it. And, I paid like just over $2 a bottle, a little bit more than you typically would pay. And I don't really care because it's a great beer. And availability, I probably all over the place, like all over the world. Like this is a classic beer that's been around for almost 200 years. So I feel like most of you out there have probably had this one. And if not, if you are a beer lover and specifically like a craft beer lover and you're looking for like some just great old school imported beers, this is one you have to have if you've never had before. Like you owe it to yourself to grab this. You might not think it's amazing, especially if you don't like love the style or anything, but like I never used to love the style and now I really do. And I understand why people like kind of clamor for it and enjoy it, and just it's a fucking good beer. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer PaTroll. I just keep on looking at the bottle because I'm just like, I wish I could drink still session beers and just like one day just be like, hey, I want to have 2, 3, 4 Pilsner Urquells and just not whatever. And I really can't. I can have like 1, maybe 2, but like I can't session this, and I miss sessioning beers like this. Like you just say, hey, I want to fucking drink a 6-pack over a 3-4 hour period, feel a little good, a little toasty, and just get my Pilsner Urquell on. It is what it is. But whatever, I'm still able to drink, and it's awesome that I'm able to review this one. So appreciate everybody stopping by. To the next one. Cheers.